Welcome everyone to a journey through the deepest corridors of time. Today we're not just looking back a few hundred or even a few thousand years. We are embarking on an epic saga spanning 4.5 billion years to tell the incredible story of our home planet Earth. Our story begins in chaos. Imagine a young, hostile solar system, swirling disk of gas and dust left over from the birth of our sun. About 4.5 billion years ago, gravity began to pull this cosmic debris together. Clumps smashed into other clumps, growing larger and larger, hotter and hotter, until a molten sphere of rock was formed. This was the Proto-Earth, a fiery and hospitable world, but it wasn't alone. In these early days, a Mars-sized object, which we've named Vea, was on a collision course. The impact was cataclysmic, a planetary smash-up of unimaginable scale. A colossal amount of molten rock and debris was blasted into orbit around the wounded Earth. Over time, gravity worked its magic again, pulling this debris together to form our constant companion, the Moon. This giant impact hypothesis is the leading theory for our Moon's origin, and its gravitational pull would become crucial, stabilizing Earth's wobble and creating the tides. For hundreds of millions of years, Earth remained a hellish landscape. This period is aptly named the Hadean Aeon, after the underworld of Greek mythology. The surface was a roiling ocean of magma, constantly bombarded by asteroids and comets left over from the solar system's formation. But these cosmic missiles were not just agents of destruction, they were also delivery vehicles. Locked within these icy comets was water. As the bombardment slowed, Earth's surface began to cool and solidify, forming a primitive crust. The water vapor that had been trapped in the atmosphere and delivered by comets started to condense. It began to rain, and it rained and rained for millions of years.
Nice!
This great deluge filled the basins and craters, forming the first global oceans. Our world was transforming from a ball of fire into a water world. But the atmosphere was still toxic, thick with carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and methane, with almost no oxygen. The sky was likely a hazy orange, and the oceans an olive green due to dissolved iron. Then, somewhere in these warm, primordial waters, around 3.8 billion years ago, the most profound event in our planet's history occurred. Life began. We don't know exactly how, but simple single-celled organisms emerged. These were the pioneers, the ancestors of every living thing that has ever existed. For over 1 billion years, these simple microbes were the sole inhabitants of Earth, quietly thriving beneath the waves. Around 2.5 billion years ago, a revolutionary new microbe evolved, cyanobacteria. These tiny organisms performed a miracle. Through photosynthesis, they learned to harness the power of the sun, consuming carbon dioxide and releasing a waste product. That waste product was oxygen. This event, known as the Great Oxidation Event, was a game-changer, but also a catastrophe for much of the existing life, which found oxygen toxic. The iron in the oceans reacted with the oxygen, rusting and sinking to the seafloor, forming the vast iron ore deposits we mine today. The rising oxygen levels slowly transformed the atmosphere and cleared the oceans. It also created the ozone layer, a protective shield against the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation. For the first time, life could potentially survive on land. This oxygen revolution paved the way for more complex life. Eukaryotic cells emerged, the kind of cells that make up plants, animals, and us. Fast forward to about 540 million years ago, the beginning of the Cambrian period. Suddenly, in a geological blink of an eye, life exploded in diversity and complexity. This Cambrian explosion saw the appearance of almost all major animal groups we know today. Creatures with shells, exoskeletons, and the first primitive backbones filled the seas. The world was teeming with bizarre and wonderful creatures like the trilobite and the fearsome Anomalocaris. Following this boom, life made its next great leap onto the land. First came the humble plants, evolving from algae, greening the barren continents. They were soon followed by arthropods, insects, spiders, and millipedes. Then, amphibians, evolving from lobe-finned fish, crawled out of the water, the first vertebrates to walk on land. The world was turning into a lush, green paradise. This led to the Carboniferous period, a time of vast, swampy forests. The plants were so abundant that when they died, they didn't fully decompose, eventually forming the massive coal beds that powered our Industrial Revolution. It was also an age of giants, with dragonflies, the size of eagles and millipedes as long as a car. But Earth's history is not just a story of progress, it's also one of catastrophic setbacks. Our planet has experienced at least 5 mass extinction events where a huge percentage of species vanished forever. The most devastating was the Permian-Triassic extinction, the Great Dying, about 252 million years ago. Massive volcanic eruptions in what is now Siberia released enormous amounts of greenhouse gases, triggering runaway global warming that wiped out over 90% of all marine species and 70% of terrestrial life. Life, however, is resilient. From the ashes of the Great Dying, a new group of animals rose to dominance, the dinosaurs. For the next 180 million years, during the Mesozoic era, these magnificent creatures ruled the Earth. From the towering Argentinosaurus to the ferocious Tyrannosaurus rex, they diversified into an incredible array of forms, dominating every continent. Their reign came to a dramatic end 66 million years ago. A 6-mile-wide asteroid slammed into the planet near the Yucatan Peninsula in modern-day Mexico. The impact unleashed the energy of billions of atomic bombs, triggering global earthquakes, tsunamis, and a fiery rain of debris. A thick cloud of dust and soot blocked out the sun, plunging the world into a nuclear winter. The plants died, the herbivores starved, and the carnivores soon followed. The age of dinosaurs was over. But this extinction event created an opportunity. With the great reptiles gone, a small, shrew-like group of animals that had been living in the shadows for millions of years could finally thrive. These were the mammals. In the millions of years that followed, mammals diversified, growing larger and adapting to fill the empty ecological niches. Primates evolved, and from them, great apes. Then, just a few million years ago, in the savannas of Africa, a new kind of ape began to walk upright. This freed their hands to use tools. Their brains began to grow. This was the dawn of humanity. Through ice ages and dramatic climate shifts, our ancestors, like Homo erectus and Neanderthals, spread across the globe. Finally, our own species, Homo sapiens, emerged. We developed complex language, art, and culture. We learned to farm, built cities, and created civilizations. In the last few seconds of our planet's year-long history, we have developed science and technology, explored our solar system, and peered back to the dawn of time itself. From a fiery ball of rock to a living, breathing world, Earth's journey is a story of violence, chance, and incredible resilience. We are the product of 4.5 billion years of cosmic collisions, geological upheavals, and evolutionary struggles. We are the planet's first species capable of understanding this epic story. And with that knowledge comes a profound responsibility to protect the only home we have ever known. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through time. If you were as fascinated by this story as we are, please hit that like button, subscribe for more adventures into the cosmos, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, stay curious.